Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the drunkest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to the War Zone. I got my co-host, Donovan Sadiq, the Queen, Dimitri K, and our in-house financial guru, Walter Couture. Tonight, we going to have a party. And when we cut the lights out at the end of the night, you ain't got to get the hell up out of here, but you can get your broke ass home. I can promise you that. If you about being broke, this ain't the conversation to have. I'm about to get into it, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to the War Zone. I want to welcome you to the War Zone, and I want to ask a realistic question of the greatest audience in the world. I got to say that every night. Y'all are without a doubt the greatest audience in the world, because without y'all, we could not do what we do. So I want to ask the greatest audience in the world, do you have two nickels to rub together? Is you living with them folk out there faking? Is your front yard manicured and you got all your flowers out there, and in the inside of your house, it look like Iraq on a bad day? I'm trying to figure it out, because some of y'all is faking, but tonight we're going to give you some more financial information to get you on your feet. I will start by saying this. I made a commitment to some good people up in Minneapolis that I would come back and I would do what I do to help repair that community, do my little part that what I would do. So I fly out next Thursday morning. I'm headed back to Minneapolis. I keep my word, man. I keep my word. And I'm going back down there to hang out with the natives. And I think this time we won't burn down no Popeyes chickens. And we will be on some real live money stuff to try and help the hood. Um, what's going on today? I mean, I feel for my teachers today, because the United States of America is trying to force y'all to go back to work in those schools, and it's not safe. Anytime you can have a state Republican convention in the city of Houston, which eventually got canceled, but none of the people that are running for office would be there. They would do it virtually. Why would your dumb ass be in the crowd? Man, I don't know what it is about this politic thing that people don't get in this COVID. Why is it that they can protect all the politicians but put everybody else in danger? I don't get that. And then y'all, should I send my child back to school? Yeah, if you got a casket ready, go on and send them to school. You gonna bury little Johnny, and you ain't gonna be able to blame it on black violence. You ain't gonna be able to blame it on gang violence. We gonna blame it on your dumb ass. Man, keep your kid at home and virtual learn and do what you do. If not, homeschool your child and stay home. Teachers, y'all got sick days from the first day of school. Why in the hell don't you use them? If you can't go on strike, use your sick days. Don't put yourself nor put those kids in danger. These people only want money. So I'm gonna turn this over to the queen, and she gonna get started. What's up, Dimitri?
Well, everything is everything, and I hope everybody is doing well on this evening. And welcome to the War Zone again. As you see, we have Mr. Walter here. He is going to clue us in on some more financial advice and tips. You know, things you can use and all of that. And so I was like, well, what am I going to talk about to open the show today? I kind of want to lighten it up a little bit. There's a lot going on. Well, I saw someone had posted the following, and it says, I'm all for buying black, but we got to get the customer service thing right. And so, you know, normally I'm one of those people, I go to bat, for black businesses, and I still do. I went to two black businesses, restaurants, one yesterday and one today. Now, just really quick, I'll tell you about my experience with the one yesterday. Heard it was, new black-owned burger spot, in the next town over, Donovan, in your town. Went there, and everybody was talking about it in this black group that I'm in. Well, one thing, he didn't have a mask on. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to, say nothing to him where everybody's in here. So I walked over to him and I say, hey, brother, the reason you don't have your mask on now, he's all up and through the restaurant. So me and my daughter really like, damn, maybe we shouldn't eat here. And do you know this man told me, oh, why you getting loud with me? Now, as God is my witness on my mama, RIP, I was not getting loud with this brother. I had a mask on, and he had his music loud, so I had to kind of speak so he can hear me. And so, he was like, well, I had some things going on, and this, that, and the other. I said, I get it, but, you need a mask on. We got COVID. I was nice as I can be. I didn't trip, took our stuff and left. Well, lo and behold, gave us the wrong order. Okay, so he just did. They gave us the wrong order. So we had to take it back. But when we went in there, he had his mask on. And, we was like, hey, we just want our money back. It's the wrong order, this, that, and the other. He goes, you know what? Just keep the food. Don't worry about it. I'm going to give you all your money back and this, that, and the other. Because I think he probably realized, well, damn, I did kind of talk to her bad. I was just trying to get a common ground there. But the restaurant I went to today was a great restaurant owned by John Sally. He's a vegan. I'm a vegan. I walked in and he was there. And he's walking around the lobby and he's talking to everybody. And I said, hey, can I get a picture with you? He said, yeah. And I said, well, I got to unlock my phone first. He goes, no, you don't. He says, I can unlock your phone. I said, no, you can't. And he unlocks my phone and he takes the picture. He says, now I won't tell your man how I did that. But, really nice ambiance, really nice, Black-owned businesses. So I would say as far as customer service, we need to get it together. But we don't have more problems than anybody else does. Because, I hear a lot of times, Black businesses, the customer service. I guarantee every time you've gone to Taco Bell, they've done something wrong to your order and you didn't complain about the customer service. And so I would say, just give us a chance as Black people to make it in business.
I didn't try to do that. But I ain't come up in here to get nothing eating you on the phone arguing with your baby daddy. Now, some Black restaurants, I'm going to be honest with you. I understand our people have what I call, I'm not going to say the N word, Nigger. I'm not going to say that for y'all tonight. But some of us got nugger clocks. So if I'm going to certain restaurant, I put my order in 2 weeks in advance. Because I already know when I go to Little Pookie barbecue truck, ain't nothing cooked. I'm going to be honest with you. I do Black owned, but I know where to go. That's the thing. You got to know where to go. Because some of these folk, man, with this Black owned, oh, we got to support them. Yeah, but I ain't got to put up with all that foolishness, man. Yeah, we got to get some things together, man. You don't want to wear no hair nets. You want to go buy all them other people hair all down to your ass, and we got to come up in here and deal with you. I know you ain't talking crazy. Girl, you better make my order before I go to jail up in here. That's what you better do. So I think we really need to get our stuff together. I do more Black owned when Black people start acting right. When you make your order 2 weeks in advance for the barbecue truck, because if not, they ain't gonna have no wood. The smoke ain't working. It's always something, man.
All right. Well, Donovan, I don't know if you had those issues or not.
Well, I get upset when they don't put the napkin in the bag. It's like, damn. All you got to do is do a basic bag, napkin, straw. Come on. I start going off.
I'm gonna tell you the one thing that irked me. Where the hell y'all hiding all the ketchup at? I was buying some French fries. Don't never get no ketchup no more. You really gotta just sit there and argue with these. I put something in your bag. You ain't put shit in my bag. I need some ketchup for these fries, man, before they get cold, man. Where they hiding the ketchup at? Hey, Walt, I think we need to invest in ketchup.
We can start a ketchup company. I'm fine with that. A hot sauce company. Everybody likes sauce, right? I was telling my sister that I bought Corliss brought me some of her sauce, and my daughter tried to steal it. So we need to anyways, I ain't gonna give up my sauces for free, but I'll talk to Corliss about it. I do like sauce.
I tell you, man, we gotta do better financially. You know, years back, I ran across a company that taught. I mean, when I say taught me a lot about insurance, taught me a lot about insurance. Taught me how to save my money a different way so I could get 12 to 15% interest on my money. Just like you saving it in the bank and I ain't getting 1%. But the question is do you want to listen to that conversation? Because yeah, it's foreign to you. It's a little foreign, but it's time for you to start listening. Now, I'm gonna be honest, some of y'all ain't listening. You get on here and you act like you on top of it. Oh, I'm rocking with the beach. I'm rocking with Donovan. 5 star, 5 star. Your ass ain't listening. Because if you was listening, it'll be more people signed up for the class, for the stock option class. It would be more people signed up for this second class. So you're not listening. So tonight we're only going to communicate with the ones that want to increase their wealth. If you don't want to increase your wealth, keep your silly comments to yourself. And when the millionaire is talking, please sit your $5 ass down and be quiet. No crazy comments, no nothing. So the question is, what is a universal index life insurance policy? Probably one of the most unique vehicles to save money in that you'll ever see. And you know what was crazy when I talked to Walter today? We actually was in the same company. We learned the same things. Now, Walter, I'm gonna ask you a question, just real quick, answer this for the people. When you went to the convention, wasn't it numbered Asians in the room?
Well,
you can count us.
There's a lot of Filipinos, but they think they black people. Matter of fact, a lot of them are confused. But no, we had in the company that we worked at. I was there 7 years, 2 years, and I went back 5. The majority, I would say, the majority in the room were probably 70, 80% Asian. Now, this is a company that was started by 4 white Mormon dudes. But they, the Asian population, especially from China, they came over here and they were like, "There's no way this is possible that I can come work for a company and in 5 to 10 years I can be a millionaire." And so they just seem to believe, like, you know what, we don't care about all the side stuff. If it's been done once, we're gonna follow it. And so it was mostly Asian. We did have some blacks in there. We had, but the downside is we had. At the company level, the highest company level, we had 1 black person. Out of 100,000 people, there was 1 black executive. And then as I left, there was a second one, what they call an executive vice chairman. There were 2 of them out of 100,000 people worldwide. And so when I went, and like I was telling Gary, I went to like some of the owner's house. We went to Hawaii. Me and Gary actually were on some of the same trips, oddly enough. And one thing that the owner of the company said to me, Walter, without being offensive, how do we get more black people to join the opportunity? Aren't your people interested in building wealth? And this is an old Mormon dude. And as I said, you know what, Marty, you don't have to apologize. I said, we want to do the same thing. I'm here, right? So I think what our people is we're just not used to the long-term stuff. 1, 2, we have a lot of stuff we're fighting. You know, we have a lot of things, black people, we deal with that white people don't. But he goes, the opportunity's here, though. We don't discriminate. Like, we want black people. Like, if you come to our home office, it's 60% black people, black women in the home office. The home office is in Atlanta. So he goes, the home office is full of black people. We just can't get you guys to join the opportunity. And so, yeah, it was mostly Asian. But we as black people, we do have the same opportunities. So it's like when I was talking to Gary, I talked to my sister earlier. And one thing I've been doing all day is just kind of watching TV. And we were talking about the protest, and I'll get to the life insurance part. We were talking about the protest, like the Facebook thing, right? I know you guys saw that. I guess I can't remember the guy's name, but he's the one that started the Facebook protest. They got 1,000 people to exit Facebook advertising for July. Facebook stock price went from $240 to $200. Boom, boom, boom. It dropped that fast. And so what I saw is people saying, yeah, we got them. We got Facebook, and, then we got them on the ropes. And so I was sitting there on Monday morning. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy stock options on Facebook. So I bought the August 250, right? The option that's good till August, that I bought the right to buy Facebook at 250. I gave him $600 and I waited. And 2 days later, I sold my options. They gave me $2,400 back. So the reason I bring that up is when we're getting hit, and I don't want to sound anti-NAACP, I'm not. But I want some of these guys, and I want us to hold them accountable. Like, that's cool. You got Facebook to shiver, and for a couple days, do you know right now Facebook stock price was down today, and it's at $245. It was $240 before the boycott, $200 on Monday. It's right now $245, and Facebook is down today. Facebook was at $250 yesterday almost. They're like, okay, Black people, we'll listen to you, but the investment community feels you have zero power because their stock price is higher. So let me tell you, let me say it another way. Mark Zuckerberg probably lost $2 or $3 billion on Monday and Tuesday. Today, that $20 billion he lost is $25 billion. Just so I can help you understand. So their position is, you guys don't have power. We're going to listen to you for a minute, but Black people have a short memory and they don't have any money. So, and it's funny, you're like attacking the platform that you use every single day. So, like, how do you punch me in the face but come over to my house to eat? It don't make sense. So we need to, let me back up. Maybe not hold our leaders accountable because we've done that for 100 years. And I mean, we've done better. But the leaders that we have today, I just think they're in it for themselves. I think we need to be responsible. The NAACP is not going to put my grandkids through college or my youngest kids through school. They're not going to, pay my bills or manage my money. And I never hear these guys talking about, like, Black people, save your money. Yeah, Aunt your mama is going to be gone, and Uncle Ben is in retirement now, right? I don't know, the Redskin, the Indian, he's gone, and that's cool, right? We ripped down all these statues, but where are we doing better? So all the statues are gone, right? All the brands are changed, so they're taking the Black people off all the products. So what do we have now that that's done? Where are we at? Are we better, or are we still the same?
We right? Still stuck in the hood.
It's a distraction. Black people are the easiest people to fool. So we have to say, you know what? We're going to leave that stuff alone, right? The Black Lives Matter, I get it, but the Black Lives Matter movement isn't even being ran by Black people. It's not even Black owned. Like, Black Lives Matter is not even Black owned. I hope I didn't lose Donovan with that. No, I know you'd be back. So if it's not Black owned, you switch sides on me, brother. That's my bad side. Actually, I don't have one of those. So Black Lives Matter isn't even Black owned. So their agenda is not ours. So, like, for instance, like, they painted the street Black Lives Matter in Washington. Wouldn't it be better if we took that money and we opened a Black-owned business on that corner? It just wouldn't make sense to me. Why would you spend, and I don't know what they spent on that. Let's say they spent $50,000 painting that sign on the street. Why not put that $50,000 into a business, right? With 50 grand, you could start 10 Black businesses. I started my financial planning company with $1,000. I mean, so we just have to start focusing on the right things. So, Gary, let me address what you talked about, the life insurance. Here's what you guys, yeah, Demetria's my sister. See the resemblance? We have the same mom and dad, right? So here, let's think about this for a second. I want you guys to take the person in your family that you love the most. It be it your favorite kid, grandkid. Like right now, my grandson is here. He's like 2 months old. He's like, he came in, I just shut it all down. You know how it is. So take the person you can. And I'm not saying I care about him the most. That's not what I just said. But take the person you love the most and imagine dying, and then their future is without your steering. Like you can't do anything for them anymore. You pass away and you have to just hope that they're going to be okay. That's what we do as Black people every time we die. Like, what's with the GoFundMe and the car wash? Like, I just hung up with someone, and I was like, my life insurance, I have 2 life insurance policies, and I don't like paying them. Let me just be upfront. I don't like paying for insurance. I hate car insurance, cell phone insurance. I got insurance on everything. I do not like it. But you know what I do like? When my car, if I leave the lights on, my AAA insurance will come tow my car and turn my lights on, right? I pay $80 a year. They'll tow me 200 miles 4 times. And one of my kids, so I get 8 200-mile tolls for $80 a year, right? If I die, right now I'm paying $75 for a $1 million policy. What they said is if you die, we will cut your family a check for $1 million. For $75. We spend $75. Like, D, I don't know what you spent today at John Sally's restaurant, but you probably spent at least $30, right? $50 for some vegetables.
Got a bunch of chickens at the meat market with that.
I can buy a whole chicken for $6, but no.
I paid for the ambiance, and he was so nice, and I'm greedy.
No, I like John Sally. He's actually a good dude. So the point I'm making is for the cost of a dinner for 2, you can insure your family for $1 million. What they'll also give me, if I die, my 6 kids get a check, number 1. 2, it also has disability. So if I have a heart attack, stroke, if I need long-term care, if I have a critical illness or injury, they will cut my family a check for $600,000. So let's assume I have a stroke. Let's not use me. Let's use Donovan, right? Let's say Donovan has a stroke. And Donovan is sitting on the couch because he's stroked out and he can't move. He can't do anything for himself. And he's watching people run in and out of the house, and it's just chaos because he's sitting on the couch. He can't move. Wouldn't it be nice if Donovan's, like, he had an insurance policy and they said, oh, by the way, he had a major stroke. We're going to give him $600,000. Well, we're going to give it to his power of attorney. And this $600,000 can be used to make sure Donovan, his cats are taken care of. You know what I'm saying? He can do a show. You might have to roll him up to it. He can still travel. He can keep his masseuses and eat the fine dinners and the wine, and he can still do all that stuff. This $600,000 can be invested, and he can take the interest every year at 6 to 7%, and he can take $40,000 a year and still have a decent lifestyle. Or if you need to, you can dip into the principal to hire a nurse. Like with me, if I have a stroke, I don't want my daughter wiping my ass. I don't want her giving me a bath. My daughter does not want to see me naked, and I don't want her to. But some of you guys, your kids are going to see you butt naked because you won't spend 15, 20, 30, 40, whatever the price is to protect your family. So that's one thing, and that's cheap. And plus, think about this. Like, we have aunts, uncles, fathers, grandparents. What if when they died, they left us $300-400,000? And we can take that money and build our community. Somebody has to go first. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have the life insurance, which is cheap. Term insurance is cheap. It's not long forever, but it's good to at least get something. Then there's something called permanent insurance. And Black people, we have this as a community. We just have the wrong one. Black people, we buy burial insurance. We have these old whole life policies that grandmama had paying on it 50 years, and there's $600 in it. So those things do nothing for us. So what you can do is there's something, so permanent insurance has a vehicle, it's called Index Universal Life, right? The cash inside of it, which is what the index is for, the cash inside is tied to the stock market, to the S&P 500. But there is a minimum floor, so you can never lose money. So every month I put, I don't know, maybe let's say it's $1,000 a month. I put into this life insurance policy. It's in the stock market, but they have a minimum guarantee, so I will never lose money. So I have a cap of 15%, but a minimum of 0. So I'll never lose money. Now, if the Standard & Poor's 500 does 30%, I get capped at 15. But if the Standard & Poor's is doing what it's doing right now, if it's losing money, I don't lose money. So my money is safe. It's what banks use. So this particular policy also will last for my whole life. And then in addition, that if I have a stroke, heart attack, or anything like that, that policy can also pay my family. In addition, that is my retirement money. And the money comes out completely tax-free. So I have life insurance that has cash that's in the stock market without ever losing a penny. And in retirement, I can pull out, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month in 20, 25 years. It's a no-brainer, right? And you can do this with $200, $300 a month. If you take $300 a month over a 20, 30-year period, you will have hundreds of thousands of dollars in your pocket. It's not even complicated, right? So that's how the product works. The problem with us is I just think we get stuck with right. Like y'all hear people say, well, I'm Mr. Right Now, right? What's the use of having money if I can't enjoy it? Well, that's dumb, right? Like, what if you could enjoy your life today by putting away and still prepare for tomorrow, right? I mean, if you make $4,000 a month, please do not tell me as a human being you can't put away $300, $400. That makes you extremely irresponsible. And people say, well, I have bills I can't save. Okay. It's people like you that damage the race. So I had a rich dude tell me, Walter, I can't afford to have bills because I have savings. I have investments. And he goes, as a responsible human being, there's no debt, no liability that's ever going to be bigger than my investment every month. He goes, so if my mortgage is $1,500, I'm saving $2,000. And I know for some of us that's a stretch, but like your car payment shouldn't be bigger than your savings account every month. You're not gonna get rich doing that. Like your cable bill is $200, but you're not saving $200. Like, so I heard like Byron Allen, what's the dude? Byron Allen. He was like, yeah, Comcast won't give me a deal. And he's going after the cable company, talking about they're discriminating us. And yeah, they are. But Byron, you need to be telling Black people, you guys watch cable and you got TV in every room and you got every single channel. Why don't you tell Black people to shut off the cable, put the money in their pocket, and 5 years we roll them around and invest in our own cable company? That makes more sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Versus begging the government to hook us up. Now, yeah, they owe us money, right? The 40 acres and the mule, they lied. And the reparations, they owe us that, right? But are they going to give it to us? Probably never, right? You can forget about that. They do owe it to us. I want to be clear, right? And it doesn't look like it's coming. And Joe Biden made it very clear. It ain't my fault. It ain't my shit. I wasn't here for that, right? And he's going to make sure 11 million people that are here illegally get our jobs. So either way it goes, we got problems as Black people. So what we can do is just start saving some money. And just like, here's what I want you to do. Go through your bank statements. And I'll say this, and probably 2% of the people do it. Go through your bank statements and just look at your expenses. And do I need to spend $60 on perfume every month? I had one lady, she spends $1,500 a month on wigs. So, and she goes, Walter, you asked me to save $300, $400. I can't do that. That's too much. I said, you have 2 special needs kids. Your boyfriend has 2 felonies. one of your sons just got out of jail, the other one's schizophrenic, and your daughter's on Facebook beating the crap out of somebody, and then most of your income is coming from Social Security and the government. You telling me you can't put away $400 out of $12,000 in income? You forever lose the right to say anything about the white man, Trump, the powers that be. Your conversation's done with you, right? So we as a people just need to start saving more money. Like anyone that ever calls me, I say, hey, what is it you do? I want to invest in it. You can ask anybody on your show, anyone that's ever called me. I'm like, tell me what your business is. I have money I want to put in it, right? I don't care what tell me what it is. Let's put some money in it, right? Because we need to start accumulating our wealth. You guys, our time is very limited. We as Black people are in a lot of trouble. And this week I really started feeling really feeling it, because I was in here in California. We have a city called San Diego. It's right next to Mexico, and it borders Mexico. And so I was just jogging around, walking around like the beach and some of the boats. And I walked past Hertz Rent-A-Car in Avis, and the Sheraton Hotel. There must have been 1,000 cars growing in tumbleweeds, and the Sheraton is shut down. Hertz has parked his cars in Sheraton's parking lot. And so when I started walking the neighborhoods, I went, okay, we are in more trouble than people think, right? And so Black people, yeah, we're in trouble. Right now, everybody's in trouble. One of my buddies, she runs a restaurant. She goes, Walter, I don't know what I'm going to do. I put my whole life savings in this restaurant. I've been here 10 years, and I just lost it all. She goes, I don't know what to do. I said, thank God for the poll. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm just kidding. But the point, and she didn't have money saved. And that's the other thing too. We as business owners sometimes forget to put money away for ourselves, right? You know what I'm talking about, Gary?
I'm just trying to figure out why we can't have insurance, GoFundMe's, fish fries. We do all this. Here's the dumbest question I can ask anybody listening. And each one of y'all are guilty of it. Not each one of y'all, because some of y'all have life insurance. Y'all that don't have life insurance, you're guilty of this. How in the hell you got insurance on your cell phone, but not on your life?
I ask people that all the time. I was going to buy an iPhone and the insurance on it. I was like, wait a minute. My life insurance is almost that. So here's your kid, right? You have your child and you have your cell phone. And both of them are in a burning car, two separate cars. Which one do you go for first? The cell phone in the burning car on the right, or your kid in the burning car on the left? You know what people do financially? They go for the cell phone. Because you cannot tell me that you don't love your family enough to the point where you can't protect them. You guys, if I die, I'm not going to be here. And yeah, it will be sad, but it's my job to take care of my family. I brought them here. It's like my mom used to say, I brought you in this world, I can take you out. I want to add to that. I thought I brought you in this world. It's my job to take care of you, period. It's like my kids are almost 30. I had this conversation with my son today. And I was just like, I'm still here for you, brother. Right? We're going to keep going. All my kids, I say the same thing every time they call me. What is it you want to do? If you want to start a business, holler back. Let me know. I'm here. It's my job. I had you to make sure you were straight, period. And I worry about that because if I die, I don't know what's going to happen with my kids. And I can just be honest. My kids' generation isn't like our generation here. They don't know how to hustle, wake up, collect cans, mow lawns, deliver newspapers, and do all this before you go to school. They don't know about it, and then come home and then sell candy door to door. Like they don't know that hustle, right? Or to work a 12-hour day and deliver pizzas till 2 a.m. and get up and start again at 6 a.m. They lost that, right? So we created, I don't want to say we created, but I think we could have did a better job. So it's our job to take care of them. And life insurance is the easiest way to do that. And here's the other thing too, you guys, you can put money in it. It also gives you protection. You know, it doesn't give you a wall, but it gives you some protection. Like for instance, I have one of my policies that I put money into every month. And I know if I got sued or something, it would be hard for them to get that. Right. And I hate to keep bringing up OJ, but it's the truth. The only reason OJ still has money because it was in an insurance policy, period. I promise you, if it was sitting in the bank, if he had it in mutual funds, it would be gone. And he would be, oh, remember that's OJ. Remember him? Now he's just wandering the street. But OJ's
oh my God.
Yeah, he's a rich man. So, and here's the other thing too. We need some other people. You know what I'm saying? Like we need some other leaders. Because I think like the Bill Cosbys and the Michael Jordans and the Oprah Winfreys and the Huey P. Newtons and these guys, you know, they took it. They moved the ball for us. I know we don't always agree with all of them. You know, like Will Smith, I know he's got some issues in the media, you know, him and his woman and who they date. And that's his business. And we keep it real. Most of us probably have a side chick too, or a side dude or something. And I'm not, you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we just focus on the wrong stuff. But I like Will Smith. If you listen to Will Smith on YouTube and his hustle videos, his story is insane. This dude made money, then he was dead broke, and he started again. And Will Smith, if you listen to him talk, he's like, I will outwork you to death. I do not care. If me and you on the treadmill, I will die on it before I get off. We need people like that, and we need to stop holding our black leaders to all these high pedestals. It's not Michael Jordan's job to be a role model. He plays basketball, but he's the dude that says, yo, I can do, like, do you understand that Nike, somebody asked me, like, who owns Air Jordan? And is that a Nike company? I was like, well, Michael owns Jordan, and he did a contract with Nike, right? They have a partnership, and you know, so he has a company called Brand Jordan. And so to me, that's a good example. And he had his buddy Larry Miller that runs Brand Jordan, but like, that's a good example, right? So we should take from our leaders and follow the guys that are making it happen. Like we have a lot of women, a lot of powerful black women in power. Like what's the girl, Susan Rice? Is that the girl that's that was Obama's chief of, I can't remember her, but that is a powerful black woman, right? Like I don't know if you've ever heard Condoleezza Rice speak. Gary Condoleezza spoke at the WFG event some years ago, and I said to myself,
I mean, I don't get caught up in all the celebrities and the politicians, because in my lifetime I'll probably never have a conversation with them. So I never used them as a role model. The best role model I ever had was my pops. So, you know, I had a good role model in my old man. But I just think that where we are right now, if you want Asian money, you're gonna have to do what the Asians do. If you want white money, you're gonna have to do what the white folk do. But if you want to keep having fish fries, when your people are dead laying up in the funeral home, and them people don't know, when you got to push the funeral back 3 times, your money ain't straight. Your people laying up in the icebox at the funeral home dead, and you still ain't hustled up enough money. Right. Walter gonna tell you tonight what you gotta do to put your people in the ground on time. I'm sick of the funeral being late.
Right. And here's the other thing too. I always say peace of mind is the best interest rate. You know what would keep black people living longer is financial security. Rich people, you don't even have to be rich. Just people like, if you have $5,000 a month coming in from your pension and Social Security, and your bills are $2,500 or $3,000, you have financial security. Like, look at my man Donovan right there. I've known Donovan a long time. Every time I go to his house, he ain't never stressed. He don't ever talk about money, bills. He don't have car payments. Like, he don't have. This is probably one of the most peaceful brothers I know. Even I go to his house and be like, damn, I want this. So
Donovan looks for stress.
That's when you ain't got no bills and you ain't got nothing looking at you. That's financial freedom.
It is. I can tell you, Donovan is so free. He started and before he be out messing with the politicians in one of the worst neighborhoods in Southern California. I was like, man, you better get some security up in here. So we will live longer with financial freedom, period. So imagine all of your bills are paid off right now. Just walk with me for a second. You have no more bills, no credit cards, no car payments, gone. And you have a mortgage that you can deal with, or your rent is affordable. And at the end of the month, you have money left over. And you stack that money you stack it away every single month. Do you realize your stress level will drop? Like money, like for instance, so physical illness is 80%, from what I understand, and I could be wrong because I'm not a doctor, 80% of physical illness is due to stress. Most of stress is caused by financial issues. Period. Think about this for a second. Think about somebody that's financially stable. How many times does the wealthy grandparents, how many times do they pass away early? Think about this. All of us probably got an uncle that has his stuff together and he's chilling. I got an uncle, he's doing well. Every time I go there, he's like, I don't got no bills. Walter, all that investment stuff, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm doing well. My money's just going to sit. Right? And he's comfortable. I be trying to get him to do stuff. But every time I go to his house, he keeps the same tone. He's monotone. He's chill, watching Price is Right, doing this thing. He crawled, he walked down. Old black people got the basement, the second, he had to step down into the living room. And he's just sitting there having a good time. So we could do that. I'm going to make you guys a challenge. If you have a car payment, I want you to fight to get rid of it. Here's what you could do. And I've done this for people, but this is like matrix stuff, the red pill, the blue pill. You have to think, is my family's future more important than Toyota or Ford Motor Credit Company? Right? And if you have a car payment, try and pay it off. And you have to, and leave it off. And then the credit cards, like use credit cards to build wealth. Like somebody said, well, can I use my credit cards for a 0% interest to invest? I said, that's a good idea if you understand the risk, right? So right now, and you guys, please, I'm just giving you an idea. I'm not telling you to do this, but like Visa's going to give me $50,000 at 0% for 18 months. So I'm like, where can I put 50 grand for 18 months with no interest? Right? Me, I'm just using the market because I understand it, but that's super risky for most people, right? Some of you could, you could buy something. So, you could do a lot with 5 grand, right? You could buy something and sell it for a higher price. Right now, I'm looking for a car for a friend, and I go, it should be easy for me to find you one because people are selling their stuff cheap, right? So whatever it is. So you have to look at debt that way. Don't carry those credit card debts, you guys. Like, and me and Dee were talking about the payday loans, right? That's like popular. Now they're taking off the protection. And so the thing now is like, black people are going to be hurt by these payday loans because now they're going to take off the protection where what is it, Dee? They can't go in your account, or what is it?
So these payday loans, and in our neighborhoods, we predominantly have the checking the cash and the payday loans and all that other stuff. We know the interest rate is stupid. Walter, what's the interest rate on some of those? Sometimes 200-300, 400%.
Some of them are 400-500%.
So it's what insane. Happens is, it's insane. But the way they restructured it, it's that they can't go into your account multiple times, because most people who go and get a payday loan, they don't have the money in the first place. So what happens is, in order for them to give you the money, they have to attach it to your account, meaning that every 2 weeks they go into your bank account and they withdraw the money. Now, a lot of times people don't have that money, and the checking and cash place can continue hitting your bank account as much as they want. And so then with your banking account, you get all these fees from your checking account. It's just a mess. You can never close the account. And so the way it is now, they took that off to where they can't hit it any no more than twice. And then the other thing, that protection that's in place now is they actually check your credit. Before, you can just go in there and say, hey, yeah, I got it. Okay, let's have your checking account. And then they give you the money, but then you can't pay it back. So the protection was to actually see if you're credit worthy. Now the Trump administration, if you will, they want to get rid of that. They want to get rid of the credit check to see if you can actually withstand a loan. And they want to get rid of them hitting your account a minimum of 2 times. And so it said that it's going to predominantly affect Black people because, we're more at risk financially. We are. It's just a fact. We need those things more because we don't have a savings. We know that our average Black wealth is about, they say 17,000. That was before the COVID hit, but it's probably a lot less than that now. And so what they say, the average American couldn't withstand a $400 cash emergency. And so for Black people, as they always say, when America catches a cold, Black people catches the flu. So the payday loan thing, they say be very cautious of that if you're one that needs the payday loans, because those protections are going to go away.
Yeah.
I just think that this discussion tonight, and you'll get to the IULs. I see some of y'all, I got insurance. I know it's not an IUL because that's not what you'd call it.
Right.
If you really are sincere about becoming wealthy, you look, Donovan, sit up for a second. Sit up for a second, Donovan. This mother here don't have no bills. If you ain't doing what he doing, you doing it wrong. Come on, man. We gotta wake up, man. I don't care if you have, I got insurance on my job. For real.
Well, yeah.
For real.
The problem with insurance at work is it's not yours, number one. So when they cut you loose, so you lose your insurance. And I know a lot of people, and I see some of the comments, and thank you for those. So like Whitney, your kid has the Gerber Life. And so that's a good start, but now we can move ahead. Like for instance, on my kids, I put them in an IUL. It's an Index Universal Life. I can put anywhere from $35 to $100 a month in it. So like, for instance, my 15-year-old daughter, Morgan, I have a $250,000 life insurance policy on her life. Now, for multiple reasons. One, I can put $50 a month in it, or I can put $100, or I can put $150. My daughter, I am building an account for her that's 100% tax-free. She has life insurance she can take with, so as she gets older and has her own kids, and I hope that's a long time away, but she has her own kids, she'll already have insurance in place, and she has all this money stacked up in your tax-free, number one. And two, you guys, if you don't have, like, I know like in the Gerber plan, their job was to get people started, and that was good. But now we need to add to it. Because like me, I have $250,000 on minimum on my kids. First of all, if I lost a kid, there's no way I'm going to be functioning. Some of you guys, if you're honest with yourself, if your kid died and your spouse died, most of us would be sadder for losing a kid. I know people that have lost a husband or a wife and it wrecked them, but they remarried and they moved on. When somebody loses a child, they do not do that. Mindy went to a church in Riverside called New Jay, and this lady, both of her twins got hit by a car and killed. And I promise you, every birthday, every Christmas, every holiday, every time school, she sees a kid playing, she thinks about those kids. My question is, if she had $500,000 life insurance and her kids were killed, she could go back and mourn properly. She could take a break. She could go through the emotions. She could start a foundation for kids. She could adopt. She could do all kinds of stuff. But we need to start thinking about protecting our family. So yeah, somebody's like, oh, you have 2 life insurance on your kids. If they die, you want to benefit? Yes. And here's what I mean by that. I want to be protected. You're not going to sit up here and tell me, like, if you lose a kid, you're going to be back at work next week. If one of my kids passes away, I don't want to see nobody for a long time, and I want the money to do it, period. And I'm not doing no bake sale, no car wash, and I'm not digging in my checking account either. I'm going to let AIG or Prudential, whoever it is, I'm going to let them do it. I'm going to give them their little money a month, and I'm going to have them protect my family. And then so the IUL, the Index Universal Life, I is for index, where the money goes into a stock market index. Universal is for universal, right? It's flexible. You can put a $50 a month in it, $100 a month. You can raise the death benefit. You can lower it. It's flexible, and the L is for life. If you guys go to FDIC.org and you go to the banking website and click on Bank of America and Wells Fargo and click assets, it will tell you how much money they have in life insurance cash value. And it is billions of dollars. And here, let me take it a step further. You have money in the bank. Let's say you have $50,000 in the bank, paying you $0. Wells Fargo takes that money and they put it into life insurance that's paying them 5 to 10%. And the government, the FDIC, the Federal Reserve, allows them to keep money in life insurance because it's the safest asset in the world.
So let me break it down to the ones that don't, they're not understanding it. Why are you not doing the same thing the bank doing? The bank just housing your money. That all they doing is just holding your money for you. Do like grandma, put it under your mattress.
Mm-hmm. So you guys, somebody, like, all I do, and I don't care what that makes me. I think about money when I wake up. CNBC, the stock market opens at 6:30 California time. My alarm is set to 6:15 every day. And the market closes at 1 p.m. and everybody knows, if you want to talk to me, call me after 1, right? And then I'm always thinking about money. When I go out to eat, I'm thinking, where is the money here? Even me and Gary was talking. I was like, Gary, where's the money? My sister, everybody. I'm like, where is the money? When the NAACP went after Facebook, my first thing was, where is the money? Right? Because everybody else is making money from Black people. Do you know how much money they're making on this Black Lives Matter movement right now? Like, people selling stuff, like the NAACP, Al Sharpton, the Anti-Defamation League, the ACLU, they are making billions of dollars in donations. And do you think it is going to us, the people? It is not. Like, we need to be checking, like, leave Donald Trump alone. He is an idiot and he's a nutcase. And it blows me away. Like, right now, his tax returns, we know he paid the strippers and the prostitutes. Why are we still talking about that? Like,
what a hole.
I don't care if Donald Trump got holes. I hope he has holes. Maybe it'll level him off from all the crazy tweeting and stuff at 3 a.m. Right? Somebody need to help this man. He's running our country. We are in trouble, right? And the guy that's on deck, he ain't no better either. So wouldn't it make sense if we held these groups accountable? Hey, NAACP, why don't you do a campaign on life insurance, right? Because when Black people die, like, what was it? St. Papa was a Rolling Stone. I don't remember the group.
Temptations.
The Temptations. All he left me was alone. Period. That ain't right. So, like, what if we could leave? I promise you guys, it's going to take some time. But, like, if every Black person had $1 million life insurance, first of all, we would treat ourselves better. 2, we wouldn't need the police department to protect us because the insurance companies would be in the hood stopping the violence. If every Black person had $1 million life insurance policy, the insurance companies would be there making sure there would be no, I guarantee you there would be no crime in the neighborhood because they would go, oh, that's going to cost us $1 million if he gets shot, right? So that is what we need to do. And I see a comment here. I don't know about the Muslims and the Black Lives Matters. I try not to get into that, right? That's a distraction because I don't care. I'm just making a point. When I was talking about the Black Lives Matter thing, I'm just saying it's not us. And Black people, we don't believe that Black Lives Matter. Honestly, I heard the mayor in Atlanta, she was in tears. She was saying Black people, like it's not them who killed 70 people in Chicago this weekend. It's us doing it. Like if the Black Lives Matter really cared, they would be dealing with Black on Black crime. That's what's killing more Black people than police officers. Right. And right now we have their ears. Like I'm not a fan of the police. Every time I see them, I get nervous, and that's sad because it shouldn't be that way. Right. But now they're like waving at us. You know, I had my seatbelt off. A cop pulled up next to me, was like, seatbelt, and kept it moving. I was like, okay, that would have been 6 months ago. I would have had a ticket. Right. So I'm not saying they're afraid of us. I'm just saying right now we have the floor, right? People are like, okay, Black people, we are listening to you. What do you want us to do? But you cannot keep taking down these major corporations and going after them. You guys, if it was not for Facebook, I wouldn't know. Most of you guys, I wouldn't even know, right? I wouldn't know Gary if it wasn't for Facebook. Do you know what I'm saying? Some of you met your man. I'm gonna leave that. I ain't gonna say no names on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So I know Facebook got a date nap. So what we need to do is start going, okay, how can we work with these companies? Because I guarantee Mark Zuckerberg, when he started Facebook, stole it, whatever, he wasn't thinking about Black people. He was thinking about the Zuckerberg Family Trust. Right? And so we need to tell our Black leaders, back up off of these people, put that energy into us. Like every time you hear a Black leader, they should say, okay, everybody on this panel, put your bank account on the screen. Put your investments on the screen. If you're not saving money, sit your ass down, because you do not deserve the power to talk to Black people if you're not saving money, because our problem is money, period. I don't care what you think about Kanye West. Call him cuckoo. He's running for president. But let me tell you, I know Kanye West personally, and he's got money all over the place. And me and him, when I first started working with him, I was like, dude, stack your chips. Why don't you be one of the first rappers that get rich and stay rich? And he kind of laughed it off. We joked about it, but like, I was his business manager for 2 years. And every time he got a check, I was like, yo, Kanye, we need to put this somewhere. Don't do the nigga shit with it. Let's invest it. You know what I'm saying? He's, you know, my God. And he took my advice. He's a billionaire. And I'm not saying he's a billionaire because of me, because, you know, Kanye's brilliant. But like, instead of attacking Kanye, all of our Black celebrities, you know, are Haddish and all these guys are going after Kanye West. Do you realize that Kanye West is one of the most influential Black men alive today? Elon Musk, the most powerful dude in the world when it comes to energy and cars, endorses dude. I'm not saying Kanye should be president. What I'm saying is I want you to think about what he's done. Here's a kid from Chicago, Chi-Town, South Side, who is a billionaire. His wife is a billionaire. His sister-in-law is a billionaire. The mama is there's billions of dollars in their house. So instead of saying, here's a Black man that has built wealth against all odds. Kanye West was almost killed in a car accident. Through the Wire is a real song. He got hit. They sued him. They wired his jaw shut. If you notice Kanye West, he has a bulge in his jaw. He didn't want to have surgery because he didn't want to interrupt his rap career. He goes, I'm gonna deal with the bulge in my jaw, but I don't want to interrupt my money. This is a brilliant Black dude, right? And Mark Cuban endorsed him. I'm not saying he's gonna be president, but what hypothetically? What if he was? Let's say in 2028 he was president. Like, How much experience does Donald Trump have? Right? I mean, they say, "Oh, we're done." How is a celebrity going to get in the White House? A reality star. That's who we got right now, and he's making it real clear that I care about white people first, and I'm going to take care of them. Period. To the point where he treads the line with the Confederate flag. That's insanity, right? Donald Trump is. I'm a registered Republican, but Donald Trump's not a friend of mine. But we have to be able to take our leaders that are doing things, and we have to follow them. Kanye West, he took the dumbass hat off. I'm glad he did that. So let's look at some of our leaders like that and go, yeah, you may not be the perfect dude, but you are where we want to be financially. I guarantee you, if Kanye West walked into your neighborhood, he did a tweet and said, I'm going to be in a restaurant in your hood, it would be 100,000 people in the street. We need people like that, right? So I think we need to give our black celebrities. And by the way, Kanye West has an IUL. He has an index. You want to know who sold it to him? I did. It's the first thing I sold Kanye West. Him and his mom was life insurance. For him and his mom, everybody at Rockefeller, all of his staff, his partners, they all have a life insurance policy. I sold them, right? So, and I said, this is where rich people keep their money. You guys need to put it there too. So,
okay, so the hood is listening. Now, of course, we got some folk on there acting like they got a lot of money. But then you got some regular old people on here that ain't got a lot of money. Right? So, they really want to talk to you. So, the spirit has hit me. The spirit has hit me. So God want me to tell you what they want to tell you. You feel me? And some woman over there, oh my God, I mean, okay, I get it. Okay, so how I put my money in this? What I gotta do? Now you saying it make money, so can I get money out? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the first thing somebody gonna ask you. You saying it make money? Can I get money out before I die?
Yes, that's the reason I use the Index Universal Life. I use it for my retirement account. That's the money that I'm going to use to pull out. And here's the cool thing with the Index Universal Life. If you fund it properly, generally after about 4 to 5 years, you can tap into it. You can't take all of it. And it's not designed that way, but the money is there. You can get to some of it for emergencies. The account is really built for 15 to 20 years, right? So if you're 60 years old, do you see yourself living till 80, right? And the answer is yes, right? If you're 50, do you see yourself living to 70? If you're 40, can you make it to 60? That's how we need to start thinking. Do you guys realize there are people that are living to 80, 90 years old? And so what if you had money then? Huh? Well, I can tell you what, if they had saved 15, 20% of their income for the last 20 years, they probably wouldn't be in that hood, right?
If you're under 25, staying alive is hard work with them.
Right. So, and a lot of people, like right now, a lot of people are moving to the suburbs. And that takes cash, right? That takes money to move. So they're saying, okay, we're going to move to the suburbs and leave some of you guys these urban neighborhoods. So wouldn't it just make sense if we start, because I hear people say, oh, I got it. But we're not doing anything about it. I say we start a Facebook group, and every week we come on there and we show what we put to the side. We don't need to see your bank balances. Just show us what you saved. I don't care if it's $10, right? Because that's the only thing that's going to help us is that. And somebody's talking about investing in land. Yeah, that's cool too. But here's what we need to do first, you guys, is we need to build a cash reserve. Because we as Black people, we do have land. You can find Black people that inherited land, but ain't nothing happening with it. It's just land, right? What you gonna do with it? All right, when's the last time your land cut you a check? I'm not saying don't own it. I'm saying get your cash reserves together, get your life insurance, get some of your other things going. So then when you buy the when you buy the land, you have everything else in order. and somebody's saying the average life expectancy is 72. It is for broke people. Rich people live longer. Think about this. Look at some of the people that have wealth. Some of these people that are 70, 80 years old, they're like, when you are financially independent, you live longer. And I'll tell you why. It's not even rocket science. If I'm wealthy, I get better health care than you do. I eat better than you do. I have time to exercise more than you do. So I'm gonna live better. I have more money. And I can take a day off and go debrief at the beach or wherever because I have money saved and I'm going to live longer than you. And that's what you should be thinking about, right?
So if somebody want an IUL, what they got to do to hook up with you?
So here's what I'm telling people is you can send me, you can DM me, you can send me a message, right? And then I can answer any question you have. And I've spoken to some of the people before. Yeah, if you are disabled, you can get an IUL. What they care about is your likelihood of dying. So if somebody's disabled or has an issue, depending on what it is, they can cover you, right? It just depends on the disability, right? So you basically just have to, you can DM me and then I can walk you through it. Me and my son, this is what we do all day. And we make sure that people have the right insurance. Get that crap out of the way so you can do something more fun, like, buy something. And by the way, you guys, it doesn't even have to be on you, right? I know some people aren't healthy enough to get it, or for whatever reason, you can get it on other people, right? You can insure your wife or a business partner, a niece. A lot of people, what happens is they aren't healthy enough to get it. They will get the policy on someone else and they'll own the policy and they'll stuff it with money. Do you realize that the Jewish synagogues, they get life insurance on their senior citizens? So when they die, the money gets the church. I mean, the church gets the money, or the synagogue gets the money, right? So what's up, Craig? I see you. So that is how it works. So it's very basic. Is you can, first of all, you can start with the term, which is really cheap. Just get it out of the way. The IUL is then a step to help you save money and put money away. And like I said, for my kids, their IUL, the minimum payment's like $35. And then I can put as much as 100, 200. It really depends on what I'm trying to get done. Right? So it's really easy. You have to be somewhat healthy, right? So they want to make sure you're not dying anytime soon. It's a nice living room, Donovan. I see you right there. That looks more like you. Now you're showing us your real house. Right. So what's up, Craig? So yeah, that is kind of that's the math. You can start out by, and you guys, here's the other thing too. When you have your life insurance in order, you can think about other stuff. I don't worry about dying anymore, because if I die, my kids are rich. They're getting a check. And I know some people say, I'm not going to leave my kids with all that money. Well, I'm glad I'm not your kid, right? You want to make sure that why wouldn't you want your heirs to be loaded? When I die, I want my kids to be rich, period. And some of you guys read the Bible, and I know they talked about making their next generation rich, right? I know Abraham had many sons and he had a bunch of money, right? So why isn't it okay that we do that? So we can protect and then protect ourselves, you guys. And one of the things that I'm excited about for me is some of these life insurance policies come with living benefits. So I'm 50 years old and I went to Norte Vista High School. I went to Ramona, and a lot of my boys didn't make it. I lost friends to heart attacks, strokes, and some cats that were had their stuff together growing up, they're gone, right? So wouldn't it just be nice to know if I had a stroke that my family gets, they got $1 million coming to them so they can pay my masseuse and pay my chef and all that stuff?
Let me say this. I'm watching the comments. I'm seeing how some of y'all got all y'all business and all. But I also know that if you didn't have to be in this conversation, you wouldn't be here. It ain't where you want it to be. You ain't gonna sit here and listen to this if you financially free. I'm good. I ain't got to worry about that. I'm telling y'all now, I already told the man, me and him getting together Monday. I'm gonna show y'all better than I can tell y'all. I mean, I've been busy as all I doze, but I'm finna take advantage of some of this game this dude giving us, man. I'm going, like you say, we can go get the little house on the beach in the Caribbean. Man, I'm trying to get that. I'm not playing. But my father always told me, say, you ain't gonna never sit in a conversation that you realistically don't have to sit in. So if you sit there and you listening, you know you need to take care of this, man.
And Larry, can I piggyback on that really quick? Rich people that are financially independent, they are listening to these conversations. Matter of fact, they are having these conversations. Like somebody would say to me, oh, I got my stuff together. I don't need a financial planner. I said, really? Do you think Bill Gates has a financial planner? Do you think Warren has a financial planner? Yes. When I was at American Express Financial Planning, all my clients had money. They all had cash. That's the whole point. People that are doing well financially tend to have these conversations. They tend to get advice, right? If I was a financial planner, I couldn't make money with poor people. I had a guy tell me in my company, if you mess with poor people, your stationery will be scratch paper. Don't mess with them. And I was like, wow, that's kind of mean. He goes, Walter, we're here to make money. Don't mess with poor people. Mother Teresa said the best way to help the poor is not to become one.
So let me ask you a question while I got you. Stock options. Oh. You see how people take, say you're in an office, it's 50 of y'all in the office, okay, everybody put in $1 and they go buy the lotto ticket, right? What stops us in this room right now from taking $10 a piece and creating a team to buy stock options?
Actually, it's funny. There's nothing stopping us from doing that. There are organizations that will group. They call them investment clubs. They will start a club, and they all own it, and they will put in money. So how it works is they should participate equally, right? It's like when you buy a lottery ticket, everybody, depending on what they put in, that's what they get in return. You can do that. There's nothing stopping people from getting together and put, like, for instance, let's say, like, I do want to buy a stock or I want to buy something. We could get together as a group. But one thing I do want to tell you, though, if you start that group, you got to stay in it. Because once you get into the investment world, there ain't no plan. Oh, I need my money back or something came up. No, it didn't. Things don't come up in investment clubs. That money is gone. I promise you. And if you put money in a CD and you go and need the money early, they will hit you with a penalty and a fee. And there's nothing you can do about it. So we can do that. And the stock options, by the way, thanks, Gary, for bringing that up, because we're going to move that class until not the 11th, but till the 18th, right? And one thing I told Gary, I said, Gary, honest, we just, we need to make sure we promote this and people are on it. Because I take my Saturday, 5 o'clock, and those of you who know me, Saturday, I'm normally sipping on something, in a foreign land.
So I think you got to tell the truth why we had to move it. Now, we sitting there, we getting tons of views, a lot of people watching it. How the hell we got 5 people in the class? Y'all sitting there making all these comments, I love it, and well, why your black ass ain't in the class?
And guess
what? I'm going to be forceful. Donovan and Demetri, I'm going to be forceful, because every Monday or Wednesday, Walter, you get to choose. You are coming. It's either going to be Money Mondays or Wealthy Wednesdays. Y'all black asses going to get spoon-fed this shit, whether you like it or not.
I mean, spoon-fed is actually a good term, because we have to, and if I can move to the pastor for a second, is scared money doesn't make money. Like, what happens is, when Facebook went from 240 to 200, I put in my little $600 and I go, okay, either Facebook is going to drop or they're going to go up. Lucky for me, they went back up to 240. I was telling my sister, Facebook is trading higher than when the boycott started. It was 240 when the boycott started. It went to 200. Everybody, Facebook is on the ropes. I gave him $600. I bought the August 250 stock option. So the option that expires in August that gives me the right to buy Facebook at 250. Facebook hit 240. I sold. I took $600 and they gave me $2,400 back. That's $1,800 in 48 hours. And all I did
is my God.
Watch point click again to sell. It's not complicated. People say, I don't have the time to learn stocks. I don't have the time to learn stock options. Well, that don't make no sense. If you can make $1,800 or $1,000, even if it's some of you guys can make $300 tomorrow, and it will change the conversation you have with your family. It will change the way that you treat people. Some of you guys treat your family like crap over a $500 argument. So it just makes sense to stay in the know. Like, and know that Forex, I stay away from that crap. Forex, Bitcoin, not saying it doesn't work. I just don't know anything about it. And Forex and Bitcoin, stock options on the risk level is a 9. Forex and Bitcoin is a 60. Period. I know right now, like Carnival Cruise Lines is, they're getting ready to, is it Carnival Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean? One of them is going to start the cruises in August, but they're going to leave from Germany. And so I looked, and I'm invested in. As soon as they announced that on CNBC, the stock price went up, and my stock options went bam. They all went up. So we have to be. It makes sense to pick 3 or 4 companies you like, and invest in them. Like I follow Facebook, the stock, because they're always in the news. Apache Oil, I bought also. You can write this down. It's NIO. It's NIO. They're the Chinese version of Tesla. In March, they were $2.59, right? And so I bought a bunch of it, and I bought like 1,000 options. And I go, okay, I'm going to give these guys, I think I gave them like $1,000, something like that for the stock options. Do you know NIO is trading at almost $14 right now? From $2 to $14. So $2 is $14. That's not bad. But do you realize I gave them $1,000 in stock options right now, and that $1,000 is $14,000. So, and I bought the long-term options on NIO, so next year and then 2022. I believe that they're riding Tesla's coattail in that 2 years, a year, this company could be trading at $100, $200. If you would have said to me, Tesla would be trading at $1,400 today, I would have laughed. And so would everybody in Wall Street. But they're trading at $1,400, right? They were $359 just a couple months ago to $1,400. So, and I know my sister bought the stock. My sister in Florida, she bought Tesla. I saw her post on Facebook, right? So, we all can do that, you guys. But me and my sister Dee and Amanda, we were on a 3-way call. It was like 6, 7 in the morning, right? And we were on a 3-way call, and we were picking stocks. And you know what I was thinking? How cool it is. Most Black families walk up, and that was their conversation. Hey, what stocks you buying today? Oh, Tesla's up, or Apache's up. You know what I'm saying? Or like Facebook is up or down, or Royal Caribbean or United Airlines is on the ropes. But the question is United Airlines in a year from now, are they going to be flying? And the answer is yes. So the stock price is here. And then, so you can either spend, let's say American Airlines, which is not my favorite stock, by the way. I like United and Southwest and Spirit. I love Spirit. Black people, that's our airline, right? And I know Black people, we're going to be back on the plane. So I invested in Spirit Airlines. When things get better, those airlines end up be moving again. So what I would do is I would buy the stock option in those airlines. Now, is the stock option better than the stock? No. The stock option just gives you the ability to control the stock. So when I bought the Facebook stock option, I think I spent $2. I spent $2.09 on the stock option. And then I sold it at $7. that make sense? So I could have bought Facebook for 200 and then watched it go to 240 and sold, and then I could have made, $40 on 200, or I could have made 20% on my money, which is still good. But what I did instead is I bought the stock option and I made 300-400%. Now the thing with the stock options is they could disappear, or your option could expire. If the stock doesn't move, the option becomes worthless, or you might sell it for less than it is. So that's the downside versus owning the stock. You just hold on to it and it's always yours. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and I mentioned Neo because it's what I'm doing. I don't know where they're going to be, but I just think, what if I had 1,000 stock options on Neo till 2022, and Neo comes out with a car that works, and their stock price jumps up to $200? That will put hundreds of thousands of dollars in my pocket from $1,000 investment.
So from this point on, what do we got? We got a stock class coming up
on the
July 18th.
No, yeah, sorry.
No, the
28th.
The 18th.
18th. Okay, so you all, what can we? Gary, can you mute your mic? Yes. So how do they go about signing up for this class?
So here's what we can do. What we've been doing is I'm keeping track. Right now we're using the Cash App, so people can DM me. I'll send the Cash App, or if Gary, you guys want to give it to them. And then what I'm doing is everybody that sends a Cash App, I'm keeping track. I have a spreadsheet. And then what I do is the day of, like the morning, I send everybody the link for the class. So that's number one. And then that's how you can get in the class. And then in that class, I'm actually going to go over, I'm going to spend more time opening the account, going through the account, how I pick stocks, how I go after them. Like, how do I actually pick a company, right? So I'm going to do that day. And then your homework between now and then is to turn on and it's a $25 class. Turn on CNBC, Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance, and just give them an hour a day and just watch it, you guys. I promise you. Because what I do is when I watch CNBC or Bloomberg, I watch their recommendations and then I pick from there. So like there's this one company, like Apache. I got that from CNBC, right? And my son just created a link. Dun, dun, dun. So my son is the genius behind all this stuff. So watch CNBC and Bloomberg. I promise you guys, it will make sense to you. And I'm click on the link.
And what time is the class?
7 o'clock Houston time.
What
5
time is the
o'clock
class?
California. 9 o'clock. 8 o'clock East Coast time. So it's 5 o'clock Cali time, and then 8 o'clock Eastern, and then in Houston it's 7 o'clock, and that's going to be on the 18th.
Now, if they miss this class, we move on to our second class, and that way we can start doing what we need to do. So if you decide you ain't gonna take this class, that's your business, man. Because some of us have been to class already.
Yeah, and if you can't make, and you guys in the future, if it's a tough day, give us another day. Because Saturday is not the most opportune time for me either. I tell you, my girlfriend was hot. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'm like, you know what? This is important to me. Back up off me, right? So if it doesn't work for you, give us a time that works, you guys. We're taking time out of my day. Me and my son and my sister spent probably 3 or 4 hours that Saturday. I went to their house and encroached and took over their living room, and I did the class in my son's living room. And his girlfriend wasn't exactly happy either. What's
your Cash App, Walter?
A great question. It's Walter Coulter. I have to put a picture of me up there. I'll do that.
Walter, is it Walter 01, $ Walter 01? Walter, hold on. Because I got your Cash App.
Yeah, you got my Cash App because me and you communicate on it quite a bit. But I will what I'll do is I think I'll have to get it. I'll have to get it to you. I'm trying to figure out how to. Let me see. Oh, so there it is, right there. I don't know. Can you see it?
No.
Oops.
I got it. Walter Lee C1.
Walter what?
I'm gonna put it up here right now.
All right.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So my sister has it. My screen isn't really effective. Sorry about that. But it's $ Walter Lee C. LEEC number 1. My son's gonna create a link that they can pay on it.
So $ Walter Lee C.
I just put it in the comments.
Yeah, it's at the comments on the bottom. So, and then yeah, we will we'll do the class. We'll spend more time going over the account, and then go over some more of the actual. Look at some companies. If you have a company that you like, let me know, and then we can go over that company. We can look into that company and go over some ideas if that works for you guys. I don't know if that makes sense.
Final thoughts, Mr. Demetra.
My final thoughts is, the train is not going to keep coming by and picking people up. Eventually the ship will sail and it will not come back. So get on it while the ship is docked, if that makes any sense. Now is the time, as Walter said earlier. Black people, we had a great run for a couple of weeks. That run is now coming to a slow jog. We had the world's attention. And unfortunately, I think most of us have gone back to sleep. And so for those of us who are awake and are interested in changing the game, not just for our people, but for ourselves, I think it would behoove us to get as much of this financial knowledge as possible. If stocks are your thing, please get into the class. There's a lot of good information going forward. And as Gary said, Walter is going to become a regular on the show, whenever he can, to keep dropping jewels and things like that. And of course, if you need some life insurance, I'm not licensed to sell it. I'm just saying, if you need some, get at Walter. We need to be insured because, there's nothing more stressful than dying and not knowing how you're going to pay for your loved one. So don't miss the ship.
Yeah, you can DM me. And then another thing I told Gary too, and one thing I like to tell people is, like, we make money from these things, and then that's money that we could put back into the community. Like, for instance, when I did the stock option class, I was telling my sister, my brother, I said, I didn't, the money we made from that, I paid it all out. You know what I'm saying? I paid my son and my, whatever. For that, I wasn't really in it for that. I just wanted it as a learning experience. But moving forward, yeah, it's a 2-hour class. Moving forward, the money that we make, we can do stuff with it. You guys, we are in a position of power right now. And the Cash App name, I think, is in the comments somewhere. This is the time for us to really build some wealth, and I'll come on here and we can talk about real estate, building your credit. Right now we've been helping a lot of people, with the government stimulus programs, and it's a hot mess. I don't know. It's just the government doesn't make it easy for us to do stuff. But you guys, we as Black people, we are leaving money on the table, like a bunch of it. And I'm not going to go into the details because my son is the one that's more versed in that. I'm just a cheerleader, right? So, get your money, get your financial house in order, and then spread the word too. You guys, we are in a position, the world is listening to us. Let's get the money, period. And let's have some fun. It would be cool if we did a war zone trip. Like right now, St. Martin is open on the 28th.
Oh, no.
On the 24th, I'll be in St. Martin for those of you who want to come join me.
You can take some of these people out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of them.
That's the other thing.
In jail in St. Martin, some of them.
We need to start traveling, y'all. When I'm traveling around the world, I see like 2 Black people. I want to see more of us. Like Mexico is open. And I know we got to be careful with the COVID. I'm not saying I'm going to go out without a mask. But like some of y'all up in Walmart, and I see y'all out doing backyard barbecue boogaloos. Like I'm just saying.
But they can do all that, but they ain't got no money to save.
Right.
So, come on, man.
Yeah, let's
go ahead, Walter. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Donovan. I want to hear from the retired dude.
Final thoughts, Donovan.
Final thoughts. Hey, you guys. With what's going on in the world today, Okay, you really got to look at what's happening. This COVID has put, they say 50 million people out of work. White folks are highly affected, right? If we do not come out of this better than when we went into it, we deserve everything we get after that. This is our opportunity. I personally, I'm going to be fine. You know, Demetrius is going to be fine. The general's going to be fine. But we have to start flipping the game and start showing our kids some financial literacy. And they aren't teaching that in school anymore. So I highly encourage you guys to get into these classes. A lot of people ask me about, I put up the mint.com app, which is what I use to do budgets. It tells me how to do my credit, what good credit cards are out there and all kinds of stuff, my property value. It's a snapshot for what I want to do. But we got to start thinking about doing things a little bit different now, because I'm telling you, they're coming up with all kinds of ways to take your land, to take your property. Big Mama leaves you the house. They don't pay the sales tax on it or the property tax on it. Now it's gone. So this is our opportunity. So,
you know, I'm excited, you guys. I'm really happy. Like this is gonna sound really screwed up, but for me, financially, the COVID virus has been a blessing in disguise. There's some of us, when chaos comes, we get wealthy. I can tell you, during the stock market crash of 2000, that's where I got rich. I was able to put millions of dollars away. When the market crashed and the world collapsed, I went all in. Right now, I am going all in with, I mean, you name it. I'm trying to put money wherever I can. I don't care if you got a soap, a shampoo, a stock, of whatever it is. I'm trying to put my money in to, because you guys, we're not going to get this opportunity again. I promise you, the white folks, and I'm just going to say white folks, and it's not white folks because I'm just going to say the government, right? Because there are a lot of white people on our side, believe it or not. But they're like, okay, black people, you matter. What are you going to do with it, right? We're tired of hearing about reparations. It ain't our fault. Don't blame us for our great-grandparents. You know, some of us, you know, they got black kids too. You know, my grandson is white as the sky. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I know he loves me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So this is the deal. So everybody's got all the information. We will be back here tomorrow. Gary, what we got going on tomorrow?
We're just gonna have a conversation.
So
let's see where we at.
Right.
I mean, I don't. You know, we could talk about a little bit of everything. We can go freestyle Fridays. We'll just talk about current events and let it be known. But my final thoughts are very, very simple. You know, go read your Bible and learn about the floods. When your God kept sending them boats and people didn't want to get on them boats. Well, guess what? I'm getting on this boat with you or without you. If this was Noah's Ark, 2 of them donkeys gonna be left on shore because I'm gonna make room for me. I'm getting on now. Smelling like chicken and everything else. I'm getting on. Let's stop playing, man, and let's get to it. Now, you know, yesterday we ran up on old Squeaky D up in Fort Bend County. So last night I had an intimate conversation with the Fort Bend County District Attorney. And Mr. Middleton has been called to the war zone. So Mr. Middleton will be our guest on the war zone next Wednesday. No questions about it. We cannot allow this to keep going on with these people that think this is a game, beating and brutalizing us. We can't allow this. So with that being said, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but when you go through that next class, if you don't show up, that's your business. Because the boat finna leave. Say I wanna thank our guest tonight, Walter Couture. Of course, my fabulous co-host, my man Donovan Sadiq, the Queen, Demetra K, And I am the 5-star general. Say, man, you don't have to be rich to end up wealthy. You just have to be smart. And like Donovan said, if we come out of this worse than when we went in, I guess they're going to be 12 years and you a slave. Until tomorrow night, we'll talk to you.